This is the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. Joining us via the telephone, our financial and diamond expert, Harold Siegel. We're taping our show on August 17th, 2017. Our time is 8:46 Mountain. Radio show runs 6:30 CHED in Edmonton, Sunday afternoon at 3. If you ever miss a radio show, they're archived on Harold's website, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, streaming for you 24/7. Podcast through iTunes. Type in the World Financial Report on Radio. You will find us there. Our featured diamond of the week from rarecoloreddiamonds.com, and we'll talk about diamonds in the second half of the show, is a .62 carat shield cut. Fancy, vivid, yellow, internally flawless. If you've never seen a shield cut before, go to rarecoloreddiamonds.com, featured diamond of the week, and connect with Harold at rarecoloreddiamonds.com, or you can speak with him personally and privately, 1-800-432-1022. He has lots of investment ideas for you, 1-800-432-1022. As we start today's show, we're into the last 2 weeks of August, which is fairly quiet as everyone relaxing, getting ready for the kids to head back to school. Some of the events of the week in the United States, obviously racial tension. And Donald Trump, once again, in the center of it all, as he was the week before with North Korea. North Korea died down as they eventually backed off. But it is hot and heavy in the United States with racial tension. Also, Canada, the United States, starting this week, renegotiating NAFTA. And here's hoping Canada will get a good, fair deal on behalf of us, the Canadian citizens. Fed minutes came out, and they raised interest rates the last go-around when they met, and their main concern, and Harold touched on this, and I give him credit, inflation. Inflation is just not strong enough to be raising rates the way they are, and they are very, very obviously concerned about it. Most feel, though, there will be one more rate rise before the end of the year, possibly in December. Last 2 weeks of August, very quiet, but Harold, in the United States, it's like a tinderbox on some level, because you're seeing people go after each other on a level that is really unprecedented, in particular going after Donald Trump. The knives are out for him on so many different levels, and we thought it would be interesting with a Trump presidency, and I won't say it hasn't disappointed, because that's obviously something we're not looking forward to or enjoying, but it is definitely a situation that is so polarizing in the United States. Very, very difficult times down there.
You better believe it. And again, unfortunately, we have a president that there's not a lot of confidence in at this particular point. He keeps putting his foot in his mouth, and he hasn't accomplished anything at this particular point. And what a topic of conversation, no matter where you go, that's all they talk about is Trump and the presidency. And again, thus far, I was one who voted for him. I know him personally. I thought he would do a great job, and so far he hasn't. So, and then, if you listen to him speak in regards to the racial tensions in North Carolina and all that, it's quite embarrassing the way that he talks. He's already known as a racist president, and I think it even came up more this week. So we'll have to continue to monitor it. It doesn't really affect the markets in any way, but his credibility is going down tremendously, and it's really unfortunate, because the fact is that there was tremendous hope that bringing in a strong businessman as president, would do an excellent job. But thus far, he's accomplished nothing. Nothing that he's tried to get passed has gone through. And the markets are basically, aside from the Dow, which goes up at this point no matter what, nothing is doing. Nothing. There's no directions in the markets at this point. So right now, we had a situation where gold was almost at $1,300 this week, and then the market backed off about $14 or $15 due to the fact that North Korea backed off from their heavy language type of thing. So not that I don't think there's something there, because I do, but at this particular point you can see how it does affect the gold market. Just the rhetoric and the talk about a potential war with North Korea. But as we said 2 weeks ago, It's very unlikely that that would happen. The fact is that North Korea really does not have a missile at this point that's going to hit the United States, and it would cause a world war. So I just don't see that happening at this particular point. So what we're really focused on, as far as gold goes, is interest rates. Is the U.S. dollar going to gain strength against all foreign currencies? Even though Trump is doing a mediocre to lousy job, I still believe that the U.S. dollar is going to be the strong currency. It's trading today at around 94 cents. It's backed off about 9 cents, which is quite substantial, especially against the Canadian dollar. Now, Randy touched on it this morning. I, for the life of me, cannot understand why in the world they would raise interest rates in Canada. First of all, there's hardly any inflation, and one of the reasons you raise interest rates is due to a concern over inflation. But there's hardly any inflation. So the fact is that they did not raise interest rates in Canada in order to thwart or fight inflation. So why did they raise interest rates? Well, I have no idea, to be honest with you, because it makes no sense, because raising interest rates at this particular time in Canada is going to kill the economy. And the reason for that is that Canadians at this particular point, myself included as Canadians and Randy, the fact is that Canadians have the highest debt that they've ever had before. The debt level in Canada for credit cards and loans and things like that is the highest it's ever been. So why in the world would you raise interest rates to make the cost higher for people to borrow money? So the fact is that all they did by raising interest rates, it's accomplished absolutely nothing. All it's done is hurt the consumer, because now the loans are going to cost even more at a time when they've got the highest debt level in Canada in as long as I can ever remember. So that's a situation that always concerned me. And then we've got the real estate debacle in Canada, which is horrible. I mean, what's happening in Toronto, people were gambling in the real estate market, using their homes as chips, and now they're seeing that the market has dropped by almost 40 to 50% over the last 3 months. So the fact is that now you've got all these loans out there, these real estate loans and mortgages and homes that really can't be sold at this point without taking a loss. And by raising interest rates, you've hurt that too, because now the mortgage cost is going to be even higher. So again, there's things happening in Canada that to me make absolutely no sense. When they passed Bill C-15 last year, Randy and I were shaking our heads saying, why in the world would the Canadian government want to do that to their citizens? And they just went out and did it. And the fact is, I just don't see how in the world it's going to help the economy in any way. So, right at this particular point, most economies around the world are in trouble. You're not seeing a lot of business. You're not seeing a lot of action in the marketplace. The only stock market that is doing well at this point is the Dow in the U.S., and that's only because of 4 or 5 stocks. Because of Apple and Google and Amazon and companies like that. But aside from that, things are not doing well here. In fact, the commercial real estate market in the United States is doing horrible. We're seeing massive closures of major retailers closing hundreds and hundreds of stores. How in the world is that going to be beneficial for the economy? Is Amazon going to pick up the slack type of thing, but all these companies, retailers are going to go out of business? Does nobody go to a store anymore, a storefront, and buy clothes or whatever you need to do? Everybody buys online? It's the new millennial situation. It's the millennials that do things totally different than what we do, those that are in our 40s, 50s, and 60s and 70s type of thing. It's a new world. And we've got to really look at this new opportunity as far as what are we going to do going forward if we're going to be able to one day retire or be able to grow our money in any way. So the fact is that there's very few investments at this point here that you could do well with. The fact is that the markets are extremely risky. Most commodities are trading within a range. There's no commodities that are breaking out at this particular point. Now, granted, we're in July and August. August is actually the slowest month of the year for trading. Most people are just getting back from vacation, or the kids are just going back to school. But in Europe, they take vacations that are a month long. And even though the economy in Europe is horrendous, I don't understand it, but they take month-long vacations. That's something that personally I would never do. If my company wasn't doing well or business was slow, I would not even take a vacation, let alone take off a month. So the fact is that there's not a lot of opportunities out there in the market. When you're trading in the commodities or stock markets, you've got to realize that those are risky markets, and they're getting more risky because, again, they're taking on a whole different view. So the fact is that if you trade commodities on your own, 90% of the people that trade commodities lose their money. 90% of people that trade stocks lose their money. So why is that a good investment going forward? Because the fact is, if 90%, unless you're an expert trader, the chances are is that you're going to lose your money or you're going to remain dormant. Just look at retirement savings plans over the last decade. They've done basically nothing. The TSX is just trading in a range at this particular point. So, you've got to look at alternative investments, not the mainstream investments that we may have looked at because our fathers and our grandfathers taught us how to trade and invest. Those don't work in today's market. The fact is that with interest rates at 0.5% or at 1%, you're never going to make returns on your money in the bank. And plus the fact you can't keep your money in the bank over $100,000 because that's all you're insured. And because of Bill C-15, if you keep more than $100,000 in the bank and that bank goes under, you're going to lose all your money. So these are difficult times. We have alternative assets. We deal in diamonds. We deal in gold. We deal in private investments that can return as much as 25% a year. And many of our clients are enjoying that investment. In fact, many have retired off of that investment. So there are opportunities out there. You just have to know where to go and look for them. This radio show has been on the air for going on 17, 18 years now. We've never, ever missed a radio show. We take our business very, very seriously, and the information that we give to our clients, we hope that that information is going to help you get to the financial levels that you need to get to. But again, this is a different world today. You've got the millennials in the markets, and they don't make a lot of money. In fact, most of them live at home in the United States. It's crazy, but 35% of millennials, that's people between 23 and 35 years old, and I'm actually going to raise that to almost 40, 35% of them still live at home with their parents. In fact, in Miami, it's the highest in the country, and that's 40% of the millennials still live with their parents. And those that don't live with their parents still support them. So it's a totally different world. It's not like when we were getting out of school and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and excited to get out there and make our mark in the world. That's not happening today. There's more depression going on than anything. So, again, what I look to do is I look to invest in alternatives, not the stock market, not the markets that most people lose their money in. We deal in alternative assets. We have good business opportunities that we allow our clients to partner with, and it's been a phenomenal experience because we've done extremely well over the last several years. So please contact us. We'll let you know what these opportunities are, and believe me, putting your money in the bank today at 1% does not compare to making 24 or 25% a year that our clients are enjoying.
And the census came out here in Canada, and what's happening in the United States when it comes to millennials, happening here in Canada as well. Vast majority of millennials living with their parents until age 30. And that is something that is obviously happening all over the world. An interesting phenomenon. Connect with Harold. How do you invest today so you can retire tomorrow? That's the question that we always ask ourselves. And Harold has lots of good investment ideas for you. Speak with him personally, privately, 1-800-432-1022, 1-800-432-1022. The website is rarecoloreddiamonds.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. And hsfineauctions.com has an auction underway right now. We'll talk about that in the second half of the show, along with diamonds. And our featured diamond of the week is one of the rarest of the rare, it's a shield cut. 0.62 carat shield cut, fancy, vivid, yellow, internally flawless. See it online, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. It is a very interesting time, racial tension in the United States. You have, obviously, threats between North Korea and United States, really the whole world. And as a result, we saw why you want to have hard assets as an insurance policy in your portfolio. Hard assets, when they were really going at each other, North Korea and the United States, did very, very well. Now, Ray Dalio is a fund manager, and he was actually written about in Tony Robbins' book that he put out a couple of years ago. He is actually working with Tony Robbins and has been for many years sort of as a coach, and he's one of the most successful hedge fund managers in the world. And he's recommending investors consider placing 5 to 10% of their assets in gold as a hedge against current political and economic risks. Dalio, the billionaire who leads the world's largest hedge fund at Bridgewater Associates, said the market may be challenged by current events, according to a LinkedIn post on Thursday. The emerging risks appear more political than economic, which makes them especially challenging to price in, according to Dalio, who rarely makes specific market recommendations. Among the risks, Dalio mentions two confrontational, nationalistic, and militaristic leaders playing chicken with each other, obviously North Korea, United States, and the odds of Congress failing to raise the debt ceiling, leading to a technical default, a temporary government shutdown, and an increased loss of faith in the effectiveness of the political system in the United States. Well, Dalio says his firm has no unique insight regarding the outcome of these matters. We can also say that if the above things go badly, it would seem that gold, more than any other safe haven assets like the dollar, yen, and treasuries, would benefit. So if you don't have 5 to 10% of your assets in gold as a hedge, we'd suggest that you re-look at this. Gold has risen about 12% this year, helped by a falling dollar and signs of tame inflation that could slow the Federal Reserve's hand in raising interest rates. Low rates boost the appeal of gold because it doesn't pay any interest. Now, obviously, the United States and Korea tensions were quite high there. Gold was booming as a result. It was a haven. Now that that seems to have toned down, we're seeing a little bit of a pullback in gold, but it still has remained very, very strong. And Harold, during that crisis with North Korea, no one wants this. I know that there were many military experts saying, like, we're really close to war here. This is very, very frightening. But this is why you need to profit and protect the money that you have. You work hard for it. You work long hours. And you want to be in a position where you're going to retire someday, having an allocation of hard assets, gold, silver, obviously diamonds as well, in your portfolio is highly recommended. And Ray Dalio coming out saying 5 to 10%. Now, there are other people, like an Egon von Greyers, who is an expert on gold out of Switzerland. He's actually saying 25%. But it really is your own tolerance for what's happening in the world financially, geopolitically. Can you sleep at night? How much of an insurance policy do you need? And how many, obviously, gold bars and how many hard assets do you want? And Harold, it is an interesting time because we saw why you want to have hard assets in your portfolio when the United States and North Korea were at the height of their saber rattling, and it was quite frightening for a lot of people.
You better believe it. And again, you just saw a brief indication of that, and gold, shot up to pretty close to $1,300. It really needs to break $1,380 for this gold market to break out. But even though it's trading in a range at this point here, it's still at the high end of its range. And the fact is that there's probably about a $200. I'm going to call it a Trump premium built into the price of gold right now. He's so unpredictable. Since he's been in office, it's been all over going after ISIS. It's going after Afghanistan. It's fighting with North Korea. All these situations means that this hothead could blow things up within any time. So yes, you do need to already own these assets, because when the gold market does start to run, you'll never catch it if you're not already in the market, type of thing. So, at this particular point, it's been somewhat of a boring market, even though we almost got to 1,300 this week. But I got to say that there's no doubt that gold would have dropped down to about $1,050 to $1,100 if it wasn't for, what I'm going to call this Trump premium, because people are petrified, that he's going to do something because he's a hothead and he really doesn't know what he's doing at this particular point. Fortunately, there's advisors and people that can somehow pull him back. But what they can't do is control his mouth, and that alone could start a war. So again, it was a good indication as to how gold would respond initially if it was something more than just talk with North Korea. Now that they backed off, gold's backing off a bit, but we'll have to see what happens with the currency. Again, my strongest trade is still that the U.S. dollar is going to be the strongest currency, and I believe that that's where we're going to make an awful lot of money.
Speak with Harold personally, privately. Connect with him, 1-800-432-1022, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, the website. Get our free weekly newsletter, the companion to our radio show. You can go through it in a very short period of time or spend hours if you want. We put it together for the show. Harold and I, we go through the material, we use it on the show. We want you to see it. We want you to benefit from it and obviously make money from the stories and ideas that are in there. Connect with Harold. He'll be happy to get your name on the list. We send it out via email free of charge. 1-800-432-1022. rarecoloreddiamonds.com is the website. You work very hard for the money that you bring in for you and your family, as I mentioned earlier. And to take 5 minutes to go through a newsletter very quickly on any smartphone or really any tablet or computer, take the time to do it. Educate yourself. That's why we put it together. We put it together for the radio show and we want you to take advantage of it. It's an excellent resource. In fact, one of the information tidbits that we have this week, it's the 10th anniversary of the global financial meltdown. And that started sort of last week, this week. 10 years ago, Wednesday, French bank BNP Paribas blocked withdrawals from hedge funds that specialized in U.S. mortgage debt. Then on August the 9th, 2007, marked the beginning of the credit crisis that caused investment bank Lehman Brothers to collapse a year later and usher in the Great Recession of 2007 to 2009. And this article says, what has changed during that time? And in my opinion, not a lot has changed. There have been changes. Oh, yes, there's no denying that. But real change to stop another financial crisis, not likely. We see Wall Street and the big banks continuing to do whatever they want. Also, in our newsletter this week, a Nordic bank is saying to corporate clients, we don't want your corporate cash. Danske Bank. They are telling corporate clients to think hard about what they want to do with excess cash before December 31, because Denmark's biggest lender doesn't want it in their deposit accounts. And one of the reasons, they have negative interest rates in Denmark. And it's interesting to note as well this week, and we have the stories in our free weekly newsletter, a lot of articles about negative interest rates in the next financial crisis or the next pullback in the economy. So you can see, yes, some territories still have negative interest rates, others planning to have them when we have another financial meltdown or pullback in the economy. Connect with Harold, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. We're going to come back and talk about diamonds as the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall, continues right after this. Welcome back to the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel. My name is Randy Marshall. We're taping our show on August 17th, 2017. With us via the telephone is Harold. Connect with us via rarecoloreddiamonds.com, rarecoloreddiamonds.com, 1-800-432-1022. If you miss a radio show, they're archived on Harold's website, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. There's an auction underway, and we'll talk about it here shortly. hsfineauctions.com has an auction underway right now online. And you can check it out, sign up, take a look at the items that are for auction. You can bid, and Harold will give us an update on that ongoing auction here momentarily. Our featured diamond of the week is a shield cut, and these shield cuts are very, very rare, museum-type pieces. If you've never seen one before, go to rarecoloreddiamonds.com, featured diamond of the week. It's a .62 carat shield cut, fancy, vivid, yellow, internally flawless. See it online, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Harold, give us an update on where we're at with the auction. It has been, I know that this is the first time you've done anything like this. We weren't too sure how it was all going to go, and obviously as you go along, you make improvements and make changes, and it actually has turned out to be a very, very good experience for everyone involved, and some people have made some outstanding investments.
True. The fact is that we launched this auction in July, and we did it purposely during the summer so we could work out any kinks, and there's been hardly any. The fact is that the auction site itself has worked extremely well. My friends at Relentless Technologies did an amazing job, and we're very excited because we plan on expanding our auction business tremendously. So as we get into September, October, November, December, and into the new year, we anticipate that our auctions will do better and better. We've got some amazing things in store. We've got some tremendous auctions coming up also, but this is an ongoing auction at this point. And basically, so far we've put up 11 items for sale, and 6 of them have sold. So during the slowest time, and understanding that it's a new site type of thing, I'm very pleased with the results so far. But I'm anticipating that this is going to be an amazing business. I anticipate putting a lot of money into this as far as advertising to increase our clientele. We want clientele all over the world. And I believe that with these type of auctions that we're going to accomplish that. So, again, we started off in July very slowly, not a lot of advertising. We've sold 6 items out of 11 so far. I will be replacing other items starting next week that have sold, and we're very, very excited about it. I think it's our future. I believe it's the future for our clients as far as selling, assets that they have. It's not only restricted to diamonds. We could sell almost anything on our auction sites as long as it's, something that the people want type of thing. So if you have any ideas, if you have items that you would like to auction off, contact us, and we will see if it fits with our model. But again, we anticipate into the new year having some outstanding auctions, some phenomenal auctions on just white goods, for example, white diamonds, that we're going to be able to bring you at phenomenal prices. We're also going to bring you auctions on we've got a plan to do a Ferrari and diamond auction. So we've got some amazing things coming up. Again, it took us almost a year and a half to build this site because it's very complex and it's working extremely well. So we're very excited about it. Stay tuned to it because, again, we're always adding new items. The items that have sold the best so far have been these magnificent kilo coins. Every one of them that we put up has sold thus far, and we've got some amazing coins coming up also. So, again, it's getting exciting, Randy. I'm really pleased with the job that we did on the auction site. There's nothing like it on the market today, so we have 2 auction sites now, both under Ace Siegel Fine Auctions, but one of them is a live auction that takes about an hour in which to do, where we auction off about 20 pieces, and we've had tremendous success with that. And then our new auction site, which is more of a eBay type of site. The pieces will stay up for longer periods of time. We do verbal descriptions on every piece so you know exactly what you're getting. We have appraisals and we have GIA reports on all diamonds that are being sold. So, again, we're just very excited about this. August is the slowest month of the year, so we're not really anticipating August to be a gigantic month, but again, it's just giving us an opportunity to set up for the rest of the year. So, again, Randy, so far everybody that has participated has loved the site, and we've got huge plans for it for the foreseeable near future, and we believe it's going to be our future as far as selling for our clients.
Definitely. Take a look at hsfineauctions.com. Auction underway right now. And definitely take a look at getting involved. It's so simple. All you need to do is go there, sign up, take a look at the catalog, and then obviously feel free to bid on the items that you're interested in. And one of the items is a Liz Taylor brooch. And that brooch is one of the world's, I would say, best brooches for the fact that Liz Taylor, it belonged to her. And we have proof of that. And if you would like to see it, go to hsfineauctions.com. If you would like to be the investor owner of it, you can obviously bid on it at HS Fine Auctions. When you think about it, Harold, how often does the average person have an opportunity to invest and own something that Liz Taylor owned and wore and was hers personally in her diamond and jewelry collection? It is so hard to find these type of pieces, and it's something that you've held for a while, and you've been waiting for the right time and special occasion to bring it out. We brought it out, and obviously this one is going to stay on the auction for a while. We want to give everyone a chance to invest and bid in that item, but what a rare piece it is. And for those that are fans of Elizabeth Taylor, in obviously history when it comes to the movies, what an amazing piece this is.
It certainly is. And her pieces sell at auction for more than almost any other movie star or somebody comparable to her. I remember back in 2011, some of her lesser priced pieces came up for auction. For example, a pair of earrings, amethyst earrings that she owned. Now, the people at the auction house, I believe it was Christie's, said that they were worth about $80,000 to $100,000. They ended up selling for $800,000. How in the world do they say or estimate that they're going to sell for around 80 to 100, and it sells for 10 times that amount? The only answer to that is that it's Elizabeth Taylor's. And the fact is that the brooch that we have up right now is very similar to that. It's not her most expensive piece. You can buy it for a very good price, and the fact is that that could be worth fortunes going forward. So not only do you get the Elizabeth Taylor's brooch, but the provenance that I have for it is her wearing it. I have a picture of Elizabeth Taylor actually wearing this brooch. So it's extremely valuable and beautiful. I mean, just look at the colors of it. It's diamonds, it's pearls, it's just an absolutely stunning piece. We actually have the last 8 pieces of her estate, so we've got some outrageous pieces from Elizabeth Taylor. So as we increase our business with our new auction site, as we increase our viewership and put more and more money into the auction site, we believe it'll be a premier auction site. I think that it will be the type of auction site that people will really enjoy using. So we've got high hopes for it. We put a lot of money into it. We're going to continue to advertise it heavily worldwide, because the more clients we have bidding, the higher the prices are going to be, and the more our clients are going to make. So again, we built this site for our clients as a exit strategy for them to be able to sell their collectibles. You know, most of us are collectors in some way, shape, or form, whether it's coins or stamps or gold or whatever it is, sports cards. And the fact is that most of us love what we collect, but there has to be a time that that's going to be sold. Otherwise, it's just passed down from generation to generation. And the fact is, sometime within that foreseeable near future, the people that are obtaining these amazing things are going to want to sell them, and that's why we built these 2 amazing auction sites. So, again, we'd appreciate you paying attention to it, to participate, and to view it, and hopefully there will be items up there that you'll like to bid on. We've got some magnificent coins. I've got some Tiffany coins coming up that turned out to be one of the best investments that our clients have ever made. We bought these Tiffany 2-ounce silver coins back in 2004. Our clients paid $250 for them, and now they're worth over $6,500. Now, that's over the last 13 years, but to make that type of return from $250 all the way up to $6,500 return on a coin in that short period of time is absolutely phenomenal. So what we did is we went out and tried to locate more of these coins, and they're extremely difficult to get, in fact, almost impossible. But what we also did discover is not only did this particular manufacturer make the Tiffany coins, the 2-ounce silver coins with the Tiffany glass inlay, but they also made them in kilo size. They just started doing that over the last couple of years, and we were able to actually get some of these kilo Tiffany coins. Now, let's face it, if the 2004 went from $250 to $6,500, could you possibly imagine how much a kilo Tiffany silver coin would be? On top of that, the people that I met that actually had these coins out of Europe have a license to mint their own coins. And we met in Denver. They flew in to meet me. I'm in Colorado for the till September, the end of September, and we actually talked about minting a wildlife series using diamonds. I mean, substantial diamonds in these coins. So we're very excited about what's going to happen moving forward with our rare coin business, with our diamond business, all tied into our auction business. So again, we haven't been sitting here twiddling our thumbs all summer while the markets are trading in a very tight, narrow range. We've been working to increase business moving forward, and most of that you're going to see happening in the alternative asset and auction business. And again, I'm very excited about it. I'm positive that we're onto a winner.
One of the things that happened this week, Elvis Presley, 40 years ago this week, passed away August 16, 1977.
It's been that long.
It's hard to believe. I remember hearing about the passing of Elvis. And they actually had a memorabilia auction, and one of his... and this is a very rare item. There are not many out there in the real world that collectors have, but one of the jumpsuits that he wore in concert went for $250,000. Also, a $20 million Aston Martin tops the auction list at Pebble Beach. Pebble Beach, they're having a car auction, and one of the top lots is a $20 million Aston Martin. So you can see that hard assets, whether it be Elvis's jumpsuit, watches, diamonds, handbags, art, obviously rarity is very important in the environment that we're in. It's an alternative asset that is so important. And you can connect with Harold about our featured diamond of the week at rarecoloreddiamonds.com. It's a .62 carat, shield cut, fancy, vivid, yellow, internally flawless. If you have never seen a shield cut before, it's like Superman's shield except yellow. You can see it online, rarecoloreddiamonds.com. Right there is a video for you to take a look at. Now this week, we have stories in our free weekly newsletter, and get our newsletter from Harold. Wall Street Journal, if you missed it. Demand soars for colored diamonds. Investors seeking higher returns have moved into an area once the preserve of wealthy collectors. Also, how much for that fancy red diamond? It's kind of a secret. Another great article. And we do have, and this is something that we've been keeping you up to date on, Rio Tinto revealed its largest red diamond at a world-exclusive preview in New York a few weeks back. Rio Tinto has unveiled the largest fancy red diamond in the history of the Argyle Pink Diamonds tender. During a world-exclusive preview in New York City, the 2.11 carat polished radiant cut diamond known as the Argyle Everglow is the dazzling centerpiece of the 2017 Argyle Pink Diamonds tender, an annual showcase of the rarest diamonds from Rio Tinto. And Harold, to say the least, we have obviously been talking about rare colored diamonds and pink diamonds for a long period of time and have been warning people the Argyle mine is going to be shutting down in about 2020, 2021, and at that point, 90 to 95% of the world's pink diamonds gone. And then they may have a few years after that an Argyle tender with a few of the diamonds that they have in their vault. But when you're taking a look at it, they have 58 diamonds in the tender, weighing a total of 49.39 carats for the entire world for this year. So you think about it, over the next 4 years, maybe 5 years at most, there may be a tender, and even then, you have such a small amount of diamonds that is being distributed around the world for investment purposes, and at some point, when they stop coming out of the mine, Harold, we're very excited about the possibilities of where these diamonds could go price-wise.
Better believe it. Again, to me, it's economics 101. When demand for a product is high and the supplies are low, the prices go higher. So this should be no different. The fact is that Argyle Mine produces 95% of the pink diamonds in the world, very small number, as Randy just said, and the fact is that these are known as the most concentrated form of wealth on Earth. So the fact is these small little beautiful diamonds all come from one mine, and this mine is going to close within the next 3-4 years. So once the mine closes, there's no more pink diamonds. That means the prices should go substantially higher depending on the actual diamond. So the fact is that I doubt that we'll ever get another opportunity to do this. We're certainly going to find out what the results are going to be about 2 or 3 years after the mine closes when there's no more diamonds available. And again, jewelers and collectors are willing to pay, almost anything to get these type of assets. So we're very excited about it. We think that we're going to do very well. Our clients are going to do very well. And the fact is that these diamonds will be no more. There's not another Argyle mine. There's no other mine in existence at this particular point that does what the Argyle mine does. So if you're one of the lucky few to own one of these diamonds, I believe it's going to turn out to be a very strong investment. The fact is, moving forward, there will be no more pink diamonds. There's no other mines in existence right now that are producing pink diamonds. The other amazing thing is we don't know what creates a pink diamond. Nobody does. They've guessed and they've done their studies and everything. We know that boron in the ground will turn a diamond from white to blue. We know that nitrogen in the ground will turn a diamond from white to orange or yellow. We know that uranium in the ground will turn a diamond from white to green, but they don't know what turns a diamond pink and red. And that's why these diamonds are another reason why they're so extremely valuable. So the fact is that the mine is going to close very soon. You give it a few years for all these diamonds to run out, and then we put these diamonds up for sale at auction. And with us, we only make money when our clients make money. We charge 10% of what the profit is. So if you bought a diamond for $50,000 and you sold it for $100,000 and made a $50,000 return, we get $5,000. You get the $45,000 profit plus the money that you put in. So that's the way we run our business. We're building these sites for an exit strategy for our clients down the road to be able to sell their diamonds. Also understand that you don't buy diamonds on a short-term basis. They don't work like that. They're a long-term asset. The fact is they should be considered similar to a retirement savings plan where you put that diamond away for 10, 20, 30 years. And then that diamond should have increased substantially in value. But diamonds give you other opportunities, not just for profit, but also for portable private wealth. There's a lot of people in the United States that are very concerned right now with President Trump as president. There's a lot of people that, believe it or not, will leave the country. They'll take their money and they'll go. But the fact is, how do you do that? If you're going to leave to another country, the fact is you cannot take money across the border. That's illegal. You'll get thrown in jail for it. You can't take stock certificates with you. You cannot take gold with you. But if you own that diamond, you definitely can. And that diamond has always been known as portable private wealth. And now, where in most cases, people are not going to leave the country that they were born in, that they're working and living in. But if things get extreme enough, and we've seen it in Europe, we've seen it in Greece and Italy and Spain and Portugal, where those countries were close to bankruptcy. And don't think the United States and North America is really that much better. We're one crisis away from being in a similar situation to them. That's why owning gold and diamonds is a very smart idea at this particular point. Because if we get into a war, if we get into a problem with North Korea or anybody else, and it affects the U.S. economy, the stock markets are going to plummet. And most people, or a lot of people, have a lot of their money in stocks. So you need protection. Diamonds and gold are your protection. You saw it this week just with what came out of the White House and with North Korea. As soon as North Korea backed off a little, the price of gold dropped by $20. I don't think that anybody really believed that North Korea and the U.S. were going to go at it, but the fact is that as soon as there was rhetoric, you saw what happened to the market, and as soon as the the threat stopped, the gold market backed off $20. So again, gold is capable of making gigantic moves. The important numbers for gold right now are $1,380. We're trading at $1,280 right now. A $100 increase in the price of gold with two closes above that would send the price of gold towards the 1900 level that we saw back in 2011. So again, there are things that can happen. They can happen when you wake up in the morning and the markets can be totally changed. So you need some protection. We sell gold to our clients. Now, right now, it's just in larger quantities. They're in kilo bars. They're magnificent. We'll ship them to you. We'll sell them to you at our cost, at the bid price, no spread, no commissions. We own our own gold mine, so that's the reason that we can do this. And we will even trade it for you if you want us to, and store it for you if you want us to, and we won't even charge you for that. So I think it's time with what's happening in the U.S. right now with Trump as president. He's losing a lot of credibility. He's floundering. He's flustered. Nobody has confidence in him at this point. We need to take a different direction than just sitting in paper assets right now, because we could get killed financially if we just sit one-dimensionally in one market, which is stocks. That is the worst place to have your money at this point.
And Donald Trump will have a day of reckoning at some point very soon with the midterm elections in the United States next year. And Republicans hold the House, and they hold the Senate. And next year, they have their midterm elections, and the people will have a chance to react to the Trump presidency. And then in 2 years' time beyond that, he will be up for re-election. And it will be interesting to see. I never thought I would say this, but will he run again? That will be the million-dollar question. Or will they come up and tap him on the shoulder and say, no, we think Mike Pence should run. Donald, you've had 4 years, time to step aside. This Trump show is going on for quite some time yet, and you need to have an insurance policy in your portfolio to protect against, obviously, geopolitical concerns, financial issues, and what's going on around the world with politicians like the United States President, Donald Trump. It's very hard in the world today to make money in investing. In fact, there are so many hedge funds that are shutting down. Many hedge funds, supposedly the smartest guys in the room when it comes to making money, are shutting down because they're saying to themselves, we just can't make money in this environment. It's very difficult. But Harold Siegel, he's there for you. And how do you invest today so you can retire tomorrow? That's why we do the radio program. You can speak with Harold personally and privately about your situation. Call him 1-800-432-1022. RareColoredDiamonds.com is the website. He has programs in place where you can start making money right now. As we've said for a long time, if you're in a GIC at 1 or 1.5%, you're not going to be able to retire. Using the rule of 72, your money doubling every 72 years at 1% is not a recipe for success when it comes to investing and retiring. And Harold does have programs in place. He'll be happy to speak to you. All you need to do is give him a call. Lots of people every day, new listeners to the show, people who have been listening for a long period of time, have waited, and now are picking up the phone. Don't wait. Give Harold a call, 1-800-432-1022. RareColoredDiamonds.com is the website. Take a look at our featured diamond of the week. If you have never seen before a shield-cut diamond, we have one for you. 0.62 carat, shield-cut, fancy, vivid, yellow, internally flawless. See it online at RareColoredDiamonds.com. And Harold, we have about 30 seconds left here.
Well, I think you've summed it up beautifully, Randy. Again, at this particular point, there's things to be concerned about in the market, so we need protection. So, again, give us a call. We have programs that are outside of the banking situations and paper assets. We deal in alternative assets and hard assets that you own, and we believe that we have the best opportunities for our clients. Our clients are making over 25% a year, and that's just not possible with most other companies. So, Randy, I wish everybody a wonderful weekend and a very profitable day.
Thank you, Harold, for another great show and your knowledge. Lots of financial questions today. So many people looking for answers. And if you're looking for answers, that's why we do our radio program. That's why we have our free weekly newsletter. That's why Harold has an open door policy. You can give him a call, 1-800-432-1022 or rarecoloreddiamonds.com. That's it. Another edition of the World Financial Report on Radio with Harold Siegel and me, Randy Marshall. We will talk to you next week.